Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Cinnamon Stitches. I am your yarn host Jennifer, and we're probably going to have to change our battery halfway through this video because my batteries, my camera came with a Sony battery. I bought off-brand batteries, and I know from experience as a photographer, off-brand batteries usually don't last as long. They start to give out after 6 months or so. They don't like the cold because they lose charge really fast, and it's cold in my office. But it seems like lately I've been dealing with all the batteries, they don't last. They're supposed to last, like when I do video mode, and I knew this buying this camera, okay? I have a Sony V1 or something like that, okay? I knew buying this camera that there were some faults in it. It overheats quickly. It is just and it overheats quickly in video, specifically HDMI mode. And I knew this going in, but I'm like, I'm not going to record in HDMI mode. I'm not going to, I didn't anticipate recording for hours. I'm like, if the battery dies in 30 to 40 minutes, like, cool, that's a video, I'm good. But lately it's been like 15 minutes. So slightly irritated with that. And I just bought new batteries, so we'll see if that, because we're working with the old battery now, and I have my old Sony on standby, and I have a drawer full of other batteries, but there will be a pause somewhere in about 15-20 minutes where I'm going to have to change the battery. Hopefully I catch it before I keep talking and lose all track of everything. Okay, so I'm really cold today. So I got layers on. I'm freezing. The dogs are running amok in the house. Oreo is a cone head. She had to get a cone put on her head because while playing with the other dogs, she got a little nick. And I'm talking about, it was a nick. It was a tiny, tiny little cut above her ear. And she had a little tiny one here. And I'm positive it's from Bentley because he tries to grab the dogs by their collars, and I'm positive he pierced her. He also tried to pierce my nose because he got two ruffled kisses and his little tooth snagged this part of my nose, and I was convinced he pierced it all the way through. He's not biting out of viciousness. He's learning when we're trying to train that out of him. Cue the puppies. Hey, hey! He ain't crazy. Colehead is here. So they are very... Bentley! Bentley! Scarlet, come! Scarlet, come! They're very, very hyper. Sounds like they're murdering each other. I promise you they are not. Hey! Hey! Come here! Come here! Scarlet got in trouble because she got in the garbage today when I took little man to school. Trying to take, or I wish you guys could see Oreo. Here you go. Poor little cone head. Now the reason she's got a cone on is because it's not the wound that, well, it's kind of the wound that's a problem. It started to heal, and I'm telling you, it was the tiniest little nick. It started to heal so she would itch it because it's itchy, okay? And then she started itching and started itching and started itching and caused a way bigger problem on top of her head. So she had to get a little spot shaved out so that we could put ointment on her head. She's limited to her cone now. She hates it. She can't fit in and out of the doggy door. The other two are acting ridiculous. They make all this noise. And they're not doing anything. Their mouths are like this. Never touching. Running up and down the stairs. So yeah. Chaos ensues. So that's what's going on with the puppies. Bentley is doing really, really good with his dog training classes. I do not like the other lady in the class at all, and I have some serious issues with her, so yeah. She's one of those mean girls, and she tries to come off like she's not because she has a bunch of illnesses, but she is definitely a mean girl. She is a mean girl. She is constantly saying little stuff to try to hurt my feelings or like make a point to me that she's better than me, but she's not. So me and Juju just sit on the other side of the classroom and talk trash about her after we leave. I'm kind of glad Juju's with me because I very, very much can tell that she is purposely making it a point to attack me every single class now. The dogs are fine. And I think the reason that the girl is attacking me is because her dog does not listen at all. Her dog does not do anything that she is asking her to do. However, the dog will listen to me and take commands from me. Will listen to the trainer and take commands from the trainer. Will listen to this girl's friend and take commands from this girl's friend. And will not listen to her. And I know that that is embarrassing because Oreo and Scarlet were not the best behaved dogs. And all she sees is Bentley. And Bentley is this perfect, cute little puppy who listens to everything I tell him to do. Except right now. Every command I give him, he just right now does it. He's so freaking smart. He is smarter than my other two dogs. 100%. He just is ready and willing and wanting to just obey. So, dog class started out with, she walks up to me, right? And she looks me in my face. She's all, "Are you from Stafford?" I'm like, "No." "Oh, well, I thought I cut you off on the freeway. I saw a red van and I just wanted to make sure that it wasn't you that I cut off on the freeway, because that's the last thing I wanted was for you to be all angry at me because I cut you off on the freeway, but I wanted to let you know that if that was you, that was me that cut you off." So the way I took that was that she looked for a red van that she thought was me and purposely tried to cut me off on the freeway. Now, had she caused an accident with my child in the car, I don't know what this woman is thinking. And then later on in the same class, by the way, she broke down crying in class over some crazy stuff. Like, she got drama in her life. I think she's miserably unhappy, and that's why she's choosing to come after me, because she's looking at me and my dog that behaved so well in class, and I'm sure that's the problem. She's unhappy, and unhappy people try to make other people unhappy. So she knows that Juju's dog, Scarlet, is an American Staffordshire Terrier. Some people would call her a pit bull. She went on a rant in the middle of class about, and there was no reason that caused the rant. So there was no reason for her to start the rant about someone she knows. Isn't that how trolls always are? Well, someone I know went through this, and they said, okay, someone she knows has pit bulls, and the veterinarian told them it's just a matter of time. It's not if they will attack, it's when. And she looked at us while she's telling the story, it's matter-of-factly critiquing pit bulls. And I looked back at Juju, because Juju hates people that are ignorant. And she will take a certain amount of abuse and she will sit there silently. And I really wish she would speak up for herself. But at that moment, it was not the time to speak up. So I look over at her, and Juju just looks at me like, this is a stupid person. I'm not going to use the words that I want to use. And after class, I was fuming. Like, my blood pressure shot up. Like, I could feel it in my face. My face was red. I was like, because she was just saying the most ignorant things. And I wanted to educate her and be like, you know, as a matter of fact, American Staffordshire Terriers were raised to be nanny dogs. They were raised as farm dogs to watch the children while they were outside. That's what they were raised as. They were forced to be fighting dogs by bad people. They're not vicious by nature. And then I thought about, well, I could be really petty and bring my book of all the pictures of our former dog Day-Day, who was 100% American Staffordshire Terrier. He had the same coloring as Bentley. He was beautiful. He was the kindest, sweetest dog in the entire world. And show her the pictures of Juliana growing up, learning to walk by holding on this dog's collar. Him laying on the outside with birds around him because he never even killed. The only thing he ever killed in his life or tried to bite was bees when they came near us, because he protected us from the bees because they were scary. And he got stung quite a few times because a bee would fly too close to me and he would snap and catch it. He would alert us when the neighbor's kids got out of the yard. Little baby in diapers was in the front yard. He alerted us. He was very upset that that baby was in the street. And he kept alerting, he kept alerting. He's barking. He was raising hell. Because he was a nanny dog. Like, he watched the girls. Like, when the 3 girls were living with us when they were 3, 3, and 5, he would just watch them everywhere they went. And if I told him to go check on the baby, he would go find the girls and he would go and check and see if they were okay. When Juju was in her crib, he would go and check on her to see if she was still breathing, and he would come back and report to me that all was well. But instead, what I did is I ordered some t-shirts that say Pitbull sayings on them, and we're going to wear those to last class. Because I'm just going to be petty. So that's not why I actually made this video today, but I wanted to vent and get that off my chest because since we're talking about the dogs, I've been cleaning in here. I've been cleaning a lot in here, and I'm actually kind of proud of it, and I wanted to talk about it because I started, and this is the way I started because you guys know I haven't been feeling well. You guys know I've been really like tired, weak, shaky, like all of the things. And see, I knew it. We only made it 11 minutes. I got to change the battery. Hang on. All right, back to business. So I want to talk about how I've been able to clean. It was a mess in here, and I did not take a before picture because quite honestly, it was embarrassing. I would buy stuff or I would get Happy Mail and I would stack it. And then someone would come in here, the kids, the husband, the dogs, and it would get knocked around. And then there would be yarn on the floor, and Bentley keeps coming in here and stealing my yarn and trying to take off with it. And so I'm trying to just clean and organize and get things put away. And I actually got a comment from Nancy. She's got yarn too, and she was like, she's like, you know, I got the same problems. Like, the reason our rooms are messy, and I totally agree with this. Well, she said the reason her room is messy is because she never puts anything away. Same. I will take it out and put it on the desk to show you guys yarn for like PO or something, and then I leave it, and I never put it away. As a matter of fact, I showed you guys a long time ago a bunch of washcloths I made, and I never put them away. I put them back in the project bag, and I found them over there in the corner. I was like, and I've been needing washcloths. This would have saved me from making my niece washcloths because I already got some made. So, and no, I didn't weave in the ends, but like they're washcloths, I don't really care. So I pulled those out. They're gonna go upstairs in my bathroom so that I at least have washcloths because I think I'm the only one that uses them. Mr. Cinnamon thinks they're disposable, so he throws them on the garage floor and I never see them again. So, because after they end up on the garage floor, they either will stick to the garage floor, or they will get really dirty from being stepped on, or they end up being swept up when he cleans the garage and put in the garbage bags. Drives me nuts. So these are going to go in by my bathtub. Yeah. So, the question I'm asking myself is, how was I going to get all this room done knowing that I felt as bad as I did? So, my saying for the year, my word for the year is grace. I'm trying to give myself as much grace as possible in all aspects. So I'm trying to give myself the grace to heal. I'm trying to, you know, be kind to myself, to give myself grace, so not to put so much pressure on myself, not to beat myself up if I didn't get it done in a timely manner. I've been working with my planner to do just day by day, day-to-day things. Obviously, number one is health. Number one is health. Everything else falls behind that. And for me, I was like, okay, well, how am I going to tackle this room? Because there's been times where I come in and tackle this room, and it takes me all day, several days in a row. And I knew I did not have, the time or the energy to hit it that hard. So I'm like, okay, now how can we break this down so that it's manageable and I can do it by myself, and I can, because this room is tiny. I know it looks beautiful. People have told me it looks bigger than what it is. This room is 10 by 12. I think it might be, yeah, I think it's 10 by 12. It might be 10 by 10. I don't exactly remember, but it's either 10 by 10 or 10 by 12. It's a small room. And there's a lot of big furniture in here. So while you see, like, there's a little bit of walk-in room back there, like, that half of the room is all desk. Because I got a big kitchen table in here. That wall is entirely bookshelves. I got a bookshelf over there you guys never see. You know, and then I got all of this. So I was like, okay, one thing at a time. And this corner actually looks much worse than it did because I'm still in the process of cleaning. So things got moved here temporarily while I deal with that half of the room. But we're going to do a little exam of what I've been working on. So over here, turn my light a little bit. So over here, we have my rolly carts, okay? And there's a box down there that has garbage in it because my garbage can is full and I have not yet had the time to clean that out because I've already emptied it several times. So that's full, and then we got a little garbage box down here. But my first rolly cart over here, move the broom, move the garbage can. My first rolly cart over here, I labeled these. I haven't fully labeled them because what's in here changes frequently. But I have all my notions up here. So on top of here is like my tins that I use for stitch markers, for extra scissors, for all that kind of stuff. The tins are in there, but all of my supplies are here. Like extra crochet hooks, extra knitting needles, my interchangeable knitting needles. This is my twist and lock set. So I got the hooks, well, one of the hooks, because one of these is in a project bag somewhere and I don't remember which one. And then I used a tin for the extra heads for that. So all that is over here. And then below that is planner supplies, which is why it says planner. So I got all of my washi tape. I have all of my stickers. And that's about all that I was able to fit in there. I used to have pens in there, but I moved the pens to my twirly thing on my desk, which I'll show you guys in a bit. And so that's planner supplies, stickers and washi tape mostly. And then below that is like cotton combs and a couple of, there's a couple of fisherman's wool that I plan on dyeing. And then if we come over here, get rid of the garbage box. This coral colored one is just fabric head to toe. Like, it's just my fabric cart. And I keep my fabric scissors in there. And I went through and I folded everything and rearranged it so it looks nice and neat. There is still way too much stuff in that cart, but I do have plans for some of that. I just need to take the time to actually work on it. And I pulled out my Valentine's fabrics. I was actually working with that. I pulled out my Valentine fabrics because I'm thinking about Valentine project bags for myself, or maybe the shop, I don't know. So I have Stitch with Hearts. I have Mickey and Minnie in Love with love letters. I have Stitch and Bougie Boo, otherwise known as Angel. Mickey and Patty. And then Cupid Mickey. And most of these were sent to me the past couple of years. And I just have not taken the time to work with them yet. And then this blue one, the top shelf is supposed to be vinyl. And so my vinyl supplies are in there, but there's also room left over. And if there's room left over, the way that I have the vinyl stacked, it will just fall apart and just like go everywhere. So I filled up as much of the space as I could. So I put some of my fancy yarns in there. And then I put those plastic tubs right here are just eyeballs. And then directly below that is my shelf of Koigu yarns. So that middle shelf there is entirely Koigus, mostly minis, but a few 50-gram hanks. And then directly below that is my bare yarn that is meant for dyeing. And then on the side of that is my right here, polyfill. And the polyfill is for when I make stuffies and all that good stuff. And then over here, we're leaving the red and white up because the red and white actually will do good for, whoops, Valentine's Day as it did for Christmas. I rearranged some of the plastic bins. I had a plastic bin here, and then I had this plastic bin on the bottom shelf because with the lid on, it didn't fit like it does here. Like I stacked it here, but if I put the lid on, it don't fit. But I'm like, I don't need the lid, right? So I put the stack in there, and then my books are all on that side. There's books behind that as well. And then the bottom shelf are mostly Plymouth yarns. Plymouth Yarn Cartwheel, Plymouth Yarn Big Wheel, and Plymouth Yarn Cartwheel, Big Wheel, and Pinwheel. So that's what's down there. And then I also have a bucket of yarns that I got from Michigan Fine Yarns. So that was the first thing I tackled. I was like, okay, I got this. I cleaned that corner. This corner took me a whole day. Because I wasn't constantly working. I would like work a little bit and then I would take an internet break. I would work a little bit. I would take my blood sugar. I would work a little bit. I would go eat lunch. You know, all these things. So I was not heavily focused. I gotta get this done. I gotta, you know. So then I took a couple days break because I had to make videos for the channel and I had to do other stuff. And I'm like, okay, now I need to do this side of the corner. This side of the corner was really bad because, I'm gonna turn you guys again. I loosened up the arm that is holding the camera. So now I can just swivel you guys. You guys are like on a, I forget what those are called. I don't remember what they're called. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. So I do have 2 boxes of yarn down here. I just need to figure out where I'm putting it and what I'm doing with it because there's not room on the shelves and I do not want to buy another bucket. But if I do buy another bucket, that will be a yarn that will be like the bucket we did in December where my goal will be to get rid of that bucket. So donations are a possibility. Mystery boxes are a possibility. Projects obviously are a main, you know, possibility. But this whole floor back here, I couldn't see the floor. There was boxes and bags and just Happy Mail, just so much stuff. I never even got a chance to get all my Christmas cards up because like it was in the Happy Mail boxes still. But I'm giving myself grace because I had a lot going on, okay? Just mentally, had a lot going on. So now I can actually see the floor and I can wheel around the floor and I got room, okay? So I got all that makes me happy. What I did over here is I put a lot of stuff on the shelves because a lot of stuff fit on the shelves. It just wasn't on the shelves. And because I was using up some of the big giant skeins, I actually have a hole right there I could fill up. Because I was using a lot of the big giant skeins from the bottom shelf, on this shelf, I was able to fill that back up. Like half of that shelf I'd used just in the past 2 months. So I was like, that's a victory for me. So let's put some more yarn back in there, fill it up. And I actually still have space for a couple more skeins down there. And then the shelf just above that where you see Steamboat Willie right here, aka Mickey Mouse, I loaded in cakes. So that was also big skeins of yarn and I was able to load that entire shelf with new cakes. So the new blossom cakes are up there, the new cinnamon swirl cakes are up there. I got some of my Hobie cakes up there and a couple of packs of cakes. So I filled that in and then I was able to put Mickey Mouse in there. And then I filled in some more empty spaces of the shelves. If you look way up here on this top shelf right here, I actually put the, if you guys have been around for a while, I really wanted the, I'm gonna turn that down a little bit because that's not helping nobody. This is way too bright. These yellow ones specifically, I was looking for a specific yarn from Joann's and I could not find it. My store didn't have it and I was looking for it in a specific color because I wanted to make a summer top. And then so many of you guys sent me the actual yarn. It's the one with, I don't remember what it's called. It's Big Twist, and it's got the sequins on it. It's the little cakes. So many of you sent me it, and so many of you sent me yellow. I have more than enough to make a summer top this summer, so we're going to have a tutorial. I can't use that yarn because they don't make it anymore, but I'm going to make myself a top with that for sure, because I look really good in yellow. I don't have any yellow clothes. So I filled that up. So right here, I put more cakes up in there, and then rotating even further, you guys are going to be able to see my desk now. The shelf with the bumblebee right here, this had my droids in it. So my droids were in there, and I took the droids out, and they're actually on the top of the shelf. Let's see if I can turn you guys up. See, I put them on the top of the shelf. That's where all of my collectibles are at, okay? And some of my camera equipment. There. So I took those out because there's a lot of space there for yarn, and I could just fill it in. So I put a lot of big cakes, or big hanks in, or big skeins in there, and some of those were on the shelf where Mickey Mouse is, and I just moved them up here, and a lot of that is basics. And then I also have a couple of Bernat fleece finer, and a baby Marley is up there. So those are the bigger skeins of yarn that take up more space. It just makes more sense to put them up there. And then, yeah, I think that's all I really tackled in regards to the shelves. So that is the entire shelf wall. I cleared out the area where Mr. Cinnamon's chair is, which is what has my sweater on it. So this, he can move around now too. There was boxes over here. There was one of these plastic bins was over here. Actually, two of the plastic bins were over here on the floor. And I was able to rearrange to where I put a bin down here where you can't see it. I don't think that's even going to help. But there's a plastic bin down at the bottom of the shelf. And I was able to put one of the plastic bins that were over in that corner in the shelf. And then I put the other one in the stack right here. So that's higher, but that's fine. I'm going to tighten you guys back up because I think we're done turning. And I don't want my camera to drop off. So I got all of that, and that didn't take me as long as it normally does because I didn't go, usually I'll come in and rearrange the whole bookshelf, so I yarn avalanche it. I just scoop all the yarn onto the floor and sort through. I can't do that anymore. That's not helpful for me. That was just way too much work, so I took it one shelf at a time, one step at a time. I had that completed in 2 days because the floor had a lot of stuff. Actually, the floor is not entirely finished, so I'm going to say the floor took about 3 days to deal with that yarn because I was rearranging and putting things back on the shelves, but I think it looks so nice right now, and I'm really happy with all of the proud work. Yeah, well, I'm happy with all the proud work I did. I'm happy with all the hard work I did. My new cup pretty. I'm drinking some water. I've been going through at least 2 of those a day. These are 40 ounces. So I'm doing good in that regard too. And the harder I work, the more I drink water. And as you saw, there was a project bag with a finished object on my desk that I will show you Monday. Irony. Here's the irony, okay? I filmed last week's Monday Makes early, so I filmed it early and I had these things done on Monday to show you guys, and what's in that project bag, I finished it, and I could have showed it to you on Monday had I just waited. I didn't wait, so I'm like, it's fine. I'll just show it next week. And then I started a new project, which is in my beautiful bag that I won from Nancy as She's Got Yarn Too, which I have now mentioned 2 times in this video. This bag is so handy for big giant projects. Now I'm going to tell you what I'm working on, and I'm going to tell you why I'm working on this, and my goal is to finish this by Valentine's Day. Now normally if I'm working on a blanket of this size, my goal is to finish it within a week because I just put so much pressure on myself. I do. I know this about myself. So what happened while I was cleaning out all of these, in the process, of me cleaning the floor, I got really tired. And so, on top of being really tired, I told you guys I'm having vision issues. Like, and it comes and it goes. And I know a lot of you have a lot of advice on that. The doctor said just wait until my blood sugar is leveled out and then we will tackle the vision issues. He said do not go to the eye doctor right now because it will not be correct whatever they learn. Because right now I'm just in a weird place, okay? So I know you guys are worried about that. It's fine. It will get better. I know this. But right now it gets really bad, and then like right now I'm fine. I can see some things, like I'm having problems with distance. It's fine. It comes and goes. My vision got really bad. I started to get a headache. So what I did is I laid down on the floor on a project bag and I covered my eyes and I stuck my head underneath my desk. So if someone would have walked in the door, they would have thought I had an emergency or something was crazy. Why am I laying on the floor under the desk? But I was just trying to shade my eyes because as you can see, there's nothing covering this window now. It was in the afternoon. The sun was blaring through my window and my eyes were just hurting. So I was laying under the desk like this just to give my body a... And see, now I just made my eyesight blurry. So I pushed too hard on my face. So I just did that to give my body a reset so my headache would kind of calm down a little bit and so I can get back to work. So I took myself a nice 15-minute lay down under the desk break. And while I was laying on the floor, I look over at one of the buckets, right? And I see 3 skeins of this. Now, if you watched last week, I just bought 2 skeins of this because I thought I used all this. So now I have 5 skeins of this. Actually, I think I have 6 because there's one in a box right there. 1, 2, 3, 4. No, I have 5. I got 5. So I have 5 of this. This is mainstay yarn. I'm not a super big fan of mainstay yarn. I think this is just like a step above Red Heart Super Saver, but it's not terrible. Red Heart Super Saver is not terrible, but it irritates my skin so much, so I just cannot use it. They got beautiful colors. That yarn wall I took a picture in front of at Joann's, that was entirely Red Heart Super Saver and Karen 1 pound. Neither of which I can use because they hurt my hands. This one's a lot easier on my hands. But I can't even use this for long terms because it starts to do stuff like this. Come on, focus. Really? There we go. It starts to do stuff like that where it just wears a hole in my skin. Okay? That's not what happened on this finger because I wrap it with this finger, but like that's what happens. So anyway, so now I got 5 of this. And then I was watching Sandy from Crochet A, and she's talking about what she wants to do this year on her channel and all that stuff. And so she's talking about the first 3 months she wants to do Jacob's Ladder projects. I was like, okay, well, cool. Like, I'm in for that. I love Jacob's Ladder. So I've also been making a lot of the granny chevron blankets, the ripple granny, the wavy granny, like whatever you want to call it. There's 100 patterns, 100 tutorials in regards to a wavy granny stitch, okay? But I'm thinking, okay, well, what if we took and we mixed the wavy ripple blanket that I got off of the Bernat label, and I mixed it with Jacob's Ladder, and I used the Christmas yarn, the Valentine's yarn. So that's what we're doing right now. It looks a hot mess, but these chain 6 areas are going to become the Jacob's Ladder. So what you do is you do the peak, and then when you're supposed to do the decrease right here, instead of doing a decrease, you chain 6. And then you go into the regular granny hole here. That's all we're doing. So, and then when you get done, you loop these together. Loop. Let's see if I can do this. Loop. 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 I tested this out last night. This is going to be a busy blanket. I'm probably going to be the only one that is absolutely in love with it. But, I mean, I don't make stuff for other people, generally. And if I make stuff for other people, I keep their tastes in mind. But I love color and I love all of the things. So, instead of looking all crazy like that, it will look like this. And I think it's busy and it's probably going to get lost in the busyness, but like I said, it's for me and I don't care and I think it's cool. And if I do this, I can of course do it in more solid colors. I think what's losing it is the variegated yarn is making it look all over the place. I don't care. I like it. I'm having fun making it. So, it's not going to be very big because while it looks big now, all of this is going to be pulled tight. So it's going to be several inches more narrow than what it is right now. And what I'm using is I got 5 of these. I got a bunch of these. These are Mary Maxim's Baby's Best that I have left over from a pattern I was testing in this last summer. This is supposed to be a number 2 and I'm using it with a number 4 because while it's thin when you're working it, it is very plump after you used it and you can't tell that there's a thinner weight yarn there. So, and I had a bunch of these left over, so I'm mixing the white in, and then I have a bunch of Red Heart Soft in the color Really Red that I got from Goodwill for $1.99 a ball. And this is really soft and really nice to work with. So I have 2 in here now, but I have more in the cabinet. So that's what I'm using. That's why I need this big giant old bag. And for the colors, I'm doing red, variegated, white, variegated, red, variegated, white, variegated, because I want to use up the variegated. And I think this is going to be very, very Valentine's-y and very colorful, and it'll go really good with my red couch. So, that's what we're doing. Making a Valentine's blanket, and my goal, since I know they got a lot on my plate right now, and I have things to worry about other than deadlines. I just have a goal to get this done by Valentine's Day, and then I will be happy and satisfied with myself. And I know, because this works up so ridiculously fast, I know that I can get it done in a week, but I'm not gonna. I'm not pressuring myself. That's just what we're doing, you know? One step at a time. Hopefully I have some more progress on that to show you by Monday, but I do have a finished object over there for Monday to show you. But other than that, like, you know, I got other projects I'm working on too. I have a sewing project coming up because I want curtains for this window, but I have to go buy curtain rods. And I don't want the cheapy flexible curtain rods because I bought fabric and it's a little bit heavy, so I need like the rod curtain rods that hang on the you know what I'm talking about. The long rods with like finials on the end where you stick it on the things. I don't know what it's called. I don't know what none of it's called. But one step at a time. I gotta wait till I get paid for that. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. So I'm gonna be making curtains, but I'll show you that on Friday because I'm really excited to show you the fabric I bought because it's so pretty and it goes with the room, but it also goes with my life. And Juju helped me pick it out. And it's beautiful fabric. I can't wait to show you. So yeah, that's what's going on. I am going to let you go because we've talked a lot, but I did get a lot. And actually, I take that back. The first thing I cleaned was not this corner. The first thing I cleaned off was my desk. And I have lots of room to work on. There's still a lot of things on my desk, but that's not going to change because, like, I work in here. This is my desk. Like, I got all of the supplies that I need for recording and or crocheting and or knitting at my fingertips. It's all like right here. So there's a lot of things, but you know, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. Also, another thing, I was digging, I found some pom-poms. I'm not a big fan of pom-poms. I think these were sent to me. I think these were sent to me from Sandy at Crochet. And I found these, and sometimes when I'm cleaning, I call my sister and I'm like, hey, like, can we talk while I'm cleaning so that I have something to do, somebody to talk to, you know? Otherwise, I blast music, or I will watch videos. Well, I will listen to videos while I'm cleaning on my phone. I just turn my phone on. And so I found these, and my nieces adore me. They will talk to me on the phone all day, every day. And, you know, sometimes I talk to them more than I talk to my sister. I adore them. They are the sweetest little girls. Adeline, the baby who turns 1 at the end of this month, she has my personality. She is so spunky and strong-willed and stubborn, and I love her for that. Her mom, not so much. Like, her mom, it irritates her. I know it does, but I know, like, when I see that in a child and they're strong-willed like that, like little man, he's very strong-willed. Juju is very strong-willed. She's just a lot more. She lets things go. Like, I don't want to say she doesn't let it bother her, because it bothers her immensely, but she stays silent when someone's at her, and I wish she would stand up for herself more. That's the only thing I have to say about that. But, like, other than that, she's very strong-willed, and she's stubborn, like me. So I think when I see that in a child, I see a headstrong child. I don't see a bad kid. I see a kid that's going to grow up into a really phenomenal adult. You know, like, yeah, it's difficult when they're a child because you want them to be obedient. But at the same time, like, if they're obedient as a child, they're going to be obedient as an adult, and they're going to be bossed around. And, like, you know, I'm not for that. So, I found these, and this one is purple with black tips, and this one's just pink. And I was talking to my 4-year-old niece, who's getting ready to be 5 in April. And she starts school this year. It's going to be fantastic. She starts school the same year Juju ends school. And I was like, Adora. Yes? And I showed her, I was like, look. And she goes, it's so fluffy. She's the cutest little girl. She has the sweetest. She talks to people, just everything. Like, I could show her dog crap, and she would go, oh, it's cute, because she knows that makes me feel good. She's like that kind of person. She's so sweet. I love her so much. And so I was like, Adora, look. Oh, it's beautiful. And that's how she talks, very high. Like, it's beautiful. She talks like a Disney princess. She talks like Snow White a little bit. And so she's all, it's everything I show her is beautiful. And so, like, oftentimes I'll go, Adora, look, what do you think of this? And she'll go, oh, it's beautiful, Aunt Jenny. She's just so sweet. She's so sweet. I love her. So, hi, Adora. Hi, baby Adeline. Because they do watch my videos. And sometimes they think that I'm there. Because when I'm talking, a lot of times I'll come in here and I'll hook my phone up here so they can see me clearly and I don't have to hold the phone. I can do other things. Oftentimes. So they see Cinnamon Stitches videos in the same place they see Aunt Jenny. And to them, it's just Aunt Jenny. So, and baby Adeline actually said my name for the first time. Like, Jenny is a hard one. Okay, Aunt Jenny is a hard one. And so when Adora first said it, I was Nenny. And so Adeline actually said my name. She actually said the J sound, which was fantastic. And so she called me Jeji. I think it was Jeji. I'll take it. So I'm going to let you go. I will see you tomorrow for Pee Out, and I will see you Friday for Yarn Porn Friday. We went to Joann's. It is an amazing store. I want to go back already. Me and Mr. Cinnamon had a really good time. Well, he didn't. He kind of had a good time. We'll talk about that on Friday, though, because I don't want to tell you too much now. But I'm so excited. I can't wait to talk about it. So I'm going to record that next. So I'm going to be wearing the same outfit. And then we'll worry about Pee Out tomorrow. Because today, I'm recording this on Tuesday. So, like, I'm from the future. Well, I'm not from the future. I'm from the past. I'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys.